Oh, greetings. Great to be before you. My name is Rick Rogers. For those of you who don't know me, I come before you today to give you an update on the national organizational initiative that I'm involved with called RDP. It's the Repair Development Project. My passion is motivated by a need to assist in repair those of us who have had layers and layers of trauma heaped upon us, those of us who are the descendants of the formerly enslaved, and those others who are similarly situated. A little bit about myself. I've attended Mercy College, Syracuse University, the New School for Social Research. Shout out to Professor Harold Harrington. He was the gentleman, the brother responsible for me for broadening my scope about globalization, geopolitical aspect, geoeconomic aspects. And he talked about then about the peripheral becoming the core and the core becoming peripheral. He talked about, he gave us a greater understanding of the emergence of the so-called BRIC nations. That's Brazil, Russia, India, China, and Korea. I'm also a graduate of the New York Theological Seminary CMP program and an alumni. Prior to that, I was a gang leader, and I served prison time. However, I come before you today to request your encouragement, that all-important vote of confidence, to continue to inspire me to become one of the better national outreach coordinators for RDP. Again, RDP is dedicated to the health, human actualization, and economic empowerment of the aforementioned. And while we have in place, with regard to the health, the first scope of services, we have in place our fearless leader, Dr. Ava McNeil. Her husband is also a doctor. We also have in place a number of psychologists, psychiatrists, and sociologists, social workers. And we're going to need a lot more. Like I mentioned, this is a national organization, and we're going to be from New York to California. That's here on the continental United States, and I imagine Hawaii as well. So that we also have in place now Dr. Cornell West. We met with him, we talked with him, and we're in email contact with him. One of our greatest assets is Dr. Amina Ali, an ambassador with the United Nations and associated with the UN Gambia operations. Well, this is great. She's also a doula. She's passionate about the health and the development of women and children. Well, this is great. She's excellent with her work, professional, sharp. On the horizon, we have folks who we can be consulting with, like Professor Angela Davis, Dr. Henry Louis Gates, Reverend Thomas Ryer, who's already providing a number of essential resources for us as we speak. We're looking to connect with Honorable Sister Stacey Abrams, Kamala Harris, and others of like mind. Madam Ambassador Chiambari Kwai. This sister is excellent. She's dedicated to reconnecting those of us in the diaspora with those of us, with those brothers and sisters of the motherland. She is right in line with us taking our intellectual resources and repatriating them with the natural resources of the motherland. We're looking forward to connecting with Donna Edwards, Michelle Alexander, and this is part of the second scope of services, the human actualization, Winton Marsalis, and this young sister, Melanie Knight. She's the founder and creative director of RTU for children and teens with regard to art and music and those type of things like that there. We need those particular things. We're most excited about the up-and-coming vanguard, young brothers and sisters, Jalen Thompson. Look these persons up. Bakari Sellers, young, courageous, intelligent young sisters and brothers, fearless in their approach. Like I mentioned, my specific interest in national initiatives, RDP national initiatives, along with New York Representative Brother Kenneth Gilmore, is the third component, RDP scope of services, and that is the economic actualization. For a number of years, Kenneth and myself, and a number of sisters and brothers, James Coogan, have been facilitating entrepreneurial workshops, facilitating classes in business plan development, marketing plan development, nonprofit proposal development, those particular things like that, aspects like that there. In fact, we have put together a pamphlet, over 60 pages now, RDP Youth Entrepreneurial Series. And this guidebook talks about your value add, value for trade, needs, wants, desires, economic stability, the right business environment. And here we're talking about the Federal Reserve, and how we use that example and how money is valued, and how money is priced when you get loans. What is a recession? What is a deflation? What is inflation? Interest rates. The Federal Open Market Committee, how decisions are made. In fact, we use one of their platforms. They use one of their platforms to be able to institute RDP across the country, with regard to all of the federal districts that the Federal Reserve has and how they gather information from the surrounding areas. As I mentioned, RDP will be located from New York to California. So we're going to need the Snoop Dogs, the T.I.s, the Master P's, all of those new, younger artists, actors and actresses. We're going to connect with so many of our treasured artists, those most conscientious and responsible ones. We're going to be talking about, this workshop talks about capital applications, production, promotions, understanding your market, the psychographics of the market, means the psychology of the demographic, their ages, their income, their lifestyles, the market development versus market penetration, distribution strategies, methods, channels, and supply chains, product service life cycles from the introduction of your product to the declining stage, and prior to that, when you should introduce new products into the market prior to the declining stages, business plans and marketing plans development, from the executive summary to the financials. In a few days, I'm scheduled for a round of East Coast outreach initiatives. One of my first assignments, so I'll be going to Florida, Carolina, Virginia, D.C., Maryland, and that's as a first assignment. So I need you guys, I need your prayers, and I'm confident that I'm going to do well, because this is in my heart. This is something that I know I need to do. What motivated me is that it's time now. It's what's called a Kairos moment, K-A-I-R-O-S, a Kairos moment, and it has to do with seizing the time now. This is in regard to the George Floyds, the brother that just got killed yesterday, Ray Sean, I believe his name is, in Florida. The Breonna Taylors, all the way to the Bells, to the Amadou Diallos, all of these things that's been going on. It's time now. It's time for me to cut the crap out of my own life and to get with a program to bring about real change. And we have to give more respect. Me personally, I have to keep it on the I have to give more respect to those persons, those brothers and sisters, Fannie Lou Hamers and the Harriet Tubmans and the Booker T. Washingtons and the J.A. Rogers and the W.B. Du Boises and the Marcus Garveys and on and on. Those persons who sacrificed, the Malcolm X's, amen, Martin Luther King, those persons who sacrificed, gave their lives, their blood, sweat, and tears to the advancement and the accusation of real freedom, justice, and equality. I want to thank you for lending an ear, and I want you to stay attuned. We need to stay attuned and keep being proactive in our approach, because what's next now? So we're thinking being proactive, not reactive, but proactive. What's next now on the horizon? And if I say, now I'm called in the classroom, they call me uncle, OG, and if I'm to be an uncle, if we're to be uncles and aunts, right, then we have to bring dignity to our young folks. If I'm an uncle, then that means that I'm the brother to your mother. I'm the brother to your father. So then I have to be an additional support network where your mother or father is not even available. And even if they are, I have to support them. But I have to support you. So that's what motivates me. And again, I'm inspired by those thinkers of the Harlem Renaissance. Lorraine Hansberry, her uncle was a professor. Chancellor William Leo Hansberry. And Langston Hughes, all of these particular scholars and poets and singers and entertainers, who are conscientious in their approach. So we're going to need to connect with you out there. And again, we need your support and we need your continued prayers in this endeavor. We'll be giving you updates shortly on these initiatives. And again, we seek your solemn spiritual permission to be able to do these things. Thank you again. I'm Rick Rogers, and I look forward to hearing from you. And my email is tribe, T-R-I-B-E, .dr777 @gmail.com. That's once again, that's tribe, that's